Next one. Next one. Can you tell me, are there any benefits in this project? Remember, savings and expenses are equal to revenue. Savings and expenses are equal to revenue. So, when you construct a project, you may get benefits in two ways. Number one, increase in revenue. Number two, decrease in expenses. So, what I am trying to ask is, what are the benefits that I will get by implementing this project? That is my question. In which expenses I can see savings? Am I going to get any direct revenues from it? Are we going to rent it out to outsiders? No, we will not get any additional rent. Then what is the benefit that we are going to get? We will only see some reduction in the expenses. Now tell me, what are the expenses in which we can find some savings? That's my question. Okay. So first one is consultant remuneration. Will there be any savings? No. Why? It will remain same whether we accept or we reject the project. Is there any incremental cash flows? No. Next one is travel and conveyance. Okay. Will there be any savings in that? Use common sense. Use common sense. Even if you construct our own building, we have to incur traveling expenses. We have to incur conveyance expenses also. We need to arrange a car so that we can bring the consultant from the training center to our office, just like what we used to do earlier. We used to make him stay in an outside hotel earlier. Now we are making him to stay in our own premises. So travel and conveyance, how much will be there if we don't construct this? 1.5 lakh. How much will be there if we construct this? 1.5 lakh. What is incremental? 0. The incremental amount is 0. So note it down. Travel and conveyance, nil. We're not going to get any benefit. Why nil? Common cost. The logic is common cost. The cost will remain same whether we accept the project or we reject the project. That's why we are treating as common cost. Hence it is 0. Now tell me, what is the another benefit that we are going to get? Look at the third expenses. Accommodation expenses. Use your common sense. There is the most important expense in which we can get some savings. Instead of making them to stay in a hotel, we are making them to stay in our own building. So automatically we can save the expenditure of accommodation expenses. Now tell me, if we don't start this project, what will be the accommodation expenses? It's not 6 lakhs, it's 8 lakhs. Read the problem once again. First paragraph. An analysis of last year expenses. Last year, how much is the accommodation expenses? 6 lakhs. So are we talking about the last year or upcoming year? Upcoming year. So if we construct this project for the next year, let us see how much will be the accommodation expenses. 0. Accommodation expenses is 0 because it's our own building. Now the question is, what will be the accommodation expenses if we don't construct this project? Last year it was 6 lakhs. What about the next year? 8 lakhs. Note it down. Savings in accommodation expenses. How much? 8 lakhs. Is there anything wrong in that? Is there anything wrong in that? Can anybody notice me? Tell me what is wrong in that. Anna? Can anybody tell me what is the mistake in that? Students who are in online, you can also respond. What is there wrong in this answer? You failed to notice a word called every year. Every. There is a word called every in the problem. Please read it again. The management estimates accommodation expenses to increase by 2 lakhs. There is a word called annually. That means next year what will be the accommodation expenses? 8 lakhs. That is called year 1. Next year is nothing but year 1. What about year 2? 10 lakhs. Year 3, 12 lakhs. Year 4, 14 lakhs. Year 5, 16 lakhs. I have intentionally skipped that word while explaining the problem to you. I just want to ensure how many of you really notice that word. Actually, in the first paragraph also, I have intentionally skipped the word last year because I just want to check how many of you really notice that word while solving the problem. By this time, you might have understood why students score lesser marks in CA course. Failure is in reading the problem, not in solving the problem. You know the solution, you know the procedure, but the problem is you are not spending proper time in reading and understanding the problem. That's where you are getting failed. After writing exam, your argument is, I have written the exam very well, but why I scored lesser marks? This is the reason. Now tell me, we made another mistake in writing the answer. We have taken only 1 year. We have taken only 1 year, assuming that every year the CFAT will remain same. But after this, what you noticed? The CFAT will not remain same every year. That's why I intentionally told you a simple statement of particulars amount. At the beginning itself, if I asked you to write year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, you might have already gone a hint that you are making something wrong. So now change the answer. The statement should be particulars, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Let's start. Savings in accommodation expenses. Don't write accommodation expenses. What you need to write? Savings in accommodation expenses. Savings in accommodation expenses. Year 1, 8 lakhs. Year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, 16 lakhs. How we arrived at this figure? Very simple. You follow the rule. You follow the rule. The rule is incremental. What is this incremental? How much is the expenditure if I don't construct this project? How much is the expenditure if I construct this project? The difference is incremental. The difference is incremental. Next one. Are there any other benefits that we will receive? Because first benefits, next expenses. Am I correct or not? Just like a P&L account. First benefits, next expenses. Are there any other benefits if we construct this building? Yeah, boarding charges. Now it's apply the same logic. Same logic. If we don't construct this building, how much will be the boarding charges? 2 lakhs. If I construct this building, how much will be the boarding charges? 1.5 lakhs. How much is the difference? We need to consider only that 50,000, not the entire amount. And this approach of decision making is called incremental approach. Now note it down. Savings in boarding charges. How much? 50,000. Will it remain same for all the years? Yes. Nothing is stated that it is going to increase or decrease. So we will get a benefit of 50,000. That savings is in terms of boarding charges. Are there any other benefits? Students in online have to respond. You cannot sit idle like that. You please respond through chat. Are there any other benefits in by implementing this project? Tell me, what is the other benefit? Nana? Yeah. So every year we are conducting training program to our managerial staff, and till now we are conducting it outside. If you construct this building, we can conduct the training program here itself. Then how much is the expenditure that we can save? Okay, how to identify 2 lakhs as the benefit? Very simple, incremental. What is the expenditure if this project is not constructed? 2 lakhs. What is the expenditure if you construct this project? 0. Difference is 2 lakhs. Note it down. Savings in managerial training program. I have a very small common sense question. When you conduct a training program, will you provide only accommodation? Don't you provide the food? Then why we are not considering the food expenses for training program? When we are inviting our management people to our office for a training program, we will provide the accommodation, and it is our courtesy to provide even food. Then why we are not considering the food expenses? No. Common cost. Common cost. Let us assume if we don't construct this project, don't we need to provide food? Yes. If we construct this project, don't we need to provide food? Yes. Then it is common cost. Once it is common cost, you need not consider. That's why it's nowhere provided in the problem. Even if it is provided, it is going to be common cost. That's where examiner is going to play a trick with you. He will not give the same problem again in the exam. He will add one more sentence. What is that sentence means? For this training program, we need to provide food also at a cost of 50,000. In such a case, what you need to do with that 50,000? Zero, since it is a common cost. How you identify whether it is common cost or not? A single question. What will be the cost if the project is not constructed? What will be the cost if the project is constructed? It's a common sense that we need to provide food, whether we provide accommodation outside or in our own building. Hence, it is considered as common cost. Once it is common cost, it will be ignored in the decision making. In decision making, we don't consider all the expenses. We will consider only incremental expenses. Whatever the common costs are there, we need to ignore them in decision making. In financial management, are you keeping the record of the expenses or are you taking the decisions? Taking the decisions. Who will take care of the keeping record of the expenses? Accounting. There is a separate department called accounting. Then our job is decision making. While taking decisions, we will not consider all the expenses, especially common expenses will be ignored. I think I have given enough example for understanding the significance of common cost. Next one. So now let us try to understand, are there any incremental expenses? Incremental expenses means this expenditure is not there. This expenditure is not there earlier. If we construct this project, then we need to incur this expenditure. Now let us see one by one. What about consultant remuneration? Is it incremental expenditure? No. Why? It's a common cost. Whether you construct the project or not, the expenditure will remain same. So shall we need to consider common cost in decision making? No. Leave it. Next one. What about travel and conveyance? Earlier it is 1,50,000. Now also it will be 1,50,000. Since it is common, we need not consider. So we are not getting any benefit and we are not incurring any extra cost. Next one. Accommodation expenses. Is it benefit or additional expenditure? Benefit, which I have already considered. Next one. Boarding charges. How much? How much? Earlier it is to be, that means if I don't construct this project, it will be 2 lakhs. If I construct this project, it will be 1.5 lakh. Is it a benefit or expenditure? Benefit, which we have already considered. Next one. Special allowances. Is it an extra cost or common cost? Common cost. Why? If the project is not accepted, we need to incur. If the project is accepted, we need to incur. Then it is a common cost. Once it is a common cost, it will be ignored in the decision making. Next. Any extra expenses? Yeah. Annual maintenance cost. Tell me, if we don't construct this project, is it required to incur maintenance cost? No. So if we construct, cost of 1.5 lakh, if we don't construct, 0. So what is the extra cost? Consider less incremental annual maintenance cost. It's incremental annual maintenance cost. How much is that? 1.5 lakhs. What is this difference amount called? What is this difference amount called? Note it down. PBDT. It's called PBDT, profit before depreciation and tax. The difference amount is called profit before depreciation and tax. Less depreciation. Actually, we need to take another working note for calculating depreciation, but let us mention in the brackets itself how much is the depreciation. Capital expenditure is 15 lakhs. So will the income tax permit you to consider depreciation for land? No, because land is a appreciable asset. It's not a depreciable asset. So we need not consider any depreciation on land. So how much is the depreciation now? 15 lakhs minus salvage value. Nothing is given. That means 0. divided by life 5 years. So the depreciation is 3 lakhs. Note it down. What is that you are going to get after deducting this depreciation? That's called PBT, profit before tax. Tax at the rate of 50%. Wonderful. Deduct tax at the rate of 50%. Deduct it. What you are going to get? Profit after tax. Now you need to add back depreciation. There is an alternative word for profit after tax. It is also known as accounting profit. It's also known as accounting profit. So when it comes to the subject of accounting, this is the profit you need to consider. But that profit is not relevant for financial management. Financial management always focuses on CFAT. CFAT. Now, profit after tax you have arrived at. Now add back depreciation. What you will get? CFAT. This is called CFAT. Do you know the simple logic for CFAT? It's called cash profit. That's what the cash you will be there in the cash. That is the cash balance you will see in the cash book. That's called cash profit. Just wait for a few minutes. I will let you know what is CFAT also. I'll spend some more minutes and I will tell you what is the literal meaning of CFAT. So whatever the figure that you have arrived is called CFAT. Now you need to multiply it with present value factor. What is that you are going to get? Present value of operating cash inflows. The total is present value of operating cash inflows. Step 3. Present value of terminal cash inflows. That means at the end of the project, we will definitely sell this project and we will get some amount. That's called terminal cash inflows. Is there anything that we are going to get at the closing time of the project? No. You can check. Any salvage value given in the problem? No. So the terminal cash inflows will be 0. Now you can compute the NPV on your own. Now you can compute the NPV on your own. Okay. What is the PBDT that you have arrived? PBDT for the first year? 9 lakhs. Okay. Are you interested to know how you arrive at this 9 lakhs? Okay. So take down. Start in a fresh page. I will tell you now the total approach. Till now you followed the approach of incremental approach. Now let us try to chalk out total approach. Now start. Now tell me, let us try to calculate the profit. Now let us try to calculate the profit. Which profit? PBDT under total approach. Now first of all, let us see what will be the situation if this project is not implemented. Okay, Nana? Let us see what will be the profit if this project is not implemented. Okay. So now let us try to find out the profit or loss. May I know how much will be the revenue if this project is not implemented? Nothing is given. You can check. No details are given with respect to the revenue. So what is the revenue? What is our turnover? What is our sales? Anything given? No. Why not given? Because it's common. It's common. Whether you construct the building or not, is your sales is going to affect it? No. That's why it's not given. Since it is a common cost, it's not given. Now let us assume sales of 100 lakhs. So for the sake of convenience, let us assume sales of 100 lakhs. Note it down. Sales 100 lakhs. Less variable cost. Less variable cost. Let us assume 30 lakhs. Variable cost of 30 lakhs. Just an assumption or example, because nothing is given in the problem. So less variable cost of 30 lakhs. What is this difference called? Good. Contribution. This difference is called contribution. Less some expenses. Which kind of expenses are generally deducted at this stage? Fixed cost. You can see some fixed cost in the problem. Write it down. Consultant remuneration. How much the consultation remuneration we need to pay for the first year? 2,50,000. Excellent. 2,50,000. 2.5 lakhs. There is one more expenses. Travel and conveyance. How much? 1.5 lakhs. Excellent. Accommodation expenses. Accommodation expenses. 8 lakhs. It's not 6 lakhs. It is 8 lakhs. Because we are talking about the next year. Last year it was 6 lakhs. Next year it will be 8. So deduct that 8 lakhs. Next expenditure. Boarding charges. How much? 2 lakhs. Special allowances. 50,000. One more expenditure is there. Management training program. If we don't construct this project, we need to make our staff to stay in a private hotel and conduct this training program, for which how much we need to incur? 2 lakhs. That is also an expenditure. If we don't construct this project, we need to spend that 2 lakhs. That's all. There ends the matter. Now tell me the PBDT. 100 lakhs of sales, 30 lakhs of variable cost, contribution of 70 lakhs. After that, we started deducting various expenses. 53.5 lakhs. So that will be the profit if we don't start this project. Now let us see how much will be the profit if we start this project. Note it down. How much will be the sales? Same 100. That's why it's not given in the problem. That's why we call it as common cost. 100 is same whether the project is there or not. So every common cost needs to be ignored. That's why we have ignored in our incremental approach. Then why we are considering here? This is total approach. This is not incremental approach. This is total approach. Now, so sales 100 lakhs less variable cost. It will remain same. Whether you provide the accommodation in a hotel or in our own building, it will remain same. So variable cost 30 lakhs. Deduct contribution 70. Now let us start deducting expenses one after another. Don't forget, this is total approach and we are trying to compute the profit if this project is implemented. Okay. So consultants remuneration, how much it will be? 2.5 lakhs. Have you noticed that you are writing this for 2 times? When the project is implemented, when the project is not implemented. That's why it is called common cost. Once it is common cost, it will be ignored in the incremental approach. Just now we have done incremental approach where we have ignored this. Now, so travel and next one, consultant remuneration 2.5 lakhs. Travel and conveyance 1.5 lakh. Next one, accommodation expenses. How much? Accommodation expenses nil. We need not incur because it is our own building. Accommodation expenses nil. Boarding charges, it's not 1.5 lakhs because there will be saving of 50,000. Excellent. Special expenses 50,000. Management training program cost 0. Since our own building, we need not incur. Management training program 0. Annual maintenance cost 1.5 lakhs. Because once we construct the building, we need to incur that also. Tell me that 62.5. What was the answer earlier? 53 point. What is the difference? Which we arrived in the incremental approach. These lies the difference between total approach and incremental approach. Now you might have understood why we ignored certain items in incremental approach. How many of you are able to follow this total and incremental approach? Wonderful. That's all. There ends the problem. This is how you need to read, understand, interpret and solve the problem. Shall I make it more complex? Yeah, I'll try to make it more complex. Okay. So do you expect ICA to give the same problem in a copy paste style? No. They may make some modifications. Now I will tinker the problem. I will make some modifications. You tell me what will be its impact on the answers. Okay. Tax rate is given as, if the tax rate is given as 35%, then where the impact will be there answer? Only while calculating CF80. In no other location you will not find any impact. Point number 2. So what is the style of depreciation being given? SLM. Let us assume depreciation is given as 20% on WDV basis. Then what will be the impact on the problem? The depreciation will not remain same for every year. Every year the depreciation will change. Every year the depreciation will change. And there is one more impact on the problem. Terminal cash inflows. Why? Definitely there will be some book value and there will be some realizable value. Whatever the difference is there, either you need to pay capital gains tax or you will get capital gains tax shield. Have you understood? Either we need to pay tax or we will get some tax shield. We need to consider all those things. Then we will arrive terminal cash inflows. So when the method of depreciation is changed to WDV, there will be huge impact on the answer. We need to change the way we compute the depreciation. Automatically CF80 changes. Automatically terminal cash inflows also changes. This is how you need to visualize. Once the faculty completes teaching a problem, it's not everything. You need to visualize what sort of modifications can be done this problem and what will be its impact on the solution. What is the advantage of doing so? If you get a new problem in the exam, so you can handle it in a better manner. So in this manner, you can make the problem still more complicated. Okay. And just to confuse you, they can even provide you sales 100 lakhs. They can provide you sales 100 lakhs. Shall we need to consider? No. They may even provide you information with respect to variable cost. Not needed. They may even provide you information like salaries and all those nonsense, which are all irrelevant since they are common cost. So just to confuse you, they may make all these kinds of modifications. Once you understand the logic behind everything, you can solve any sort of problem. Any sort of problem. You first try to understand the logic, why we are doing so. Let me extend my discussion. The next topic I am going to say is, what is CF80? A very basic example, just a basic example. In just a matter of 2 minutes, you can understand what is CF80. Start. Let us assume I made a cash sales of 100 rupees. I made a cash sales of 100 rupees. Okay. I made a cash sales of 100 rupees. Less variable cost, within brackets, cash. So I am running a very small business where everything is going to be on cash. Sales is cash. Variable expenses, cash. So 30 rupees of variable cost. Deduct. What is that you are going to get? Contribution 70. Contribution 70. Less fixed cost, cash 20. Fixed cost, cash 20. What is that you are going to get? PBDT. How much is that? 50 rupees. May I know how much is there in my cash box? If I open the cash box, how much amount I can see? 50 rupees. Good. Very good. Less depreciation 20 rupees. Less depreciation 20 rupees. How much is that? 30. What is that called? PBT. Profit before tax. Now tell me how much is there in my cash box? Same 50, because depreciation is a non-cash expenditure. Excellent. Now tax. Don't forget we have 50 rupees in my cash box. Okay. Less tax. How much? 30%. 9 rupees. Deduct it. How much you get? 21 rupees. So remember, 1 minute, just hold. I paid the tax. Now how much is there in my cash box? 41. So 50 rupees minus 9 rupees. I left with, excellent. Now add back depreciation. How much is that? How much you got? That's all. That's called cash profit. It's so simple to understand. Why we deducted depreciation? Why do we add back? Simple common sense. We are left with 41 rupees. ఇందాక మీరు చెప్పింది కూడా 41 కదా, వచ్చేసింది 41. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ క్యాష్ ప్రాఫిట్. ఇదే అకౌంట్ ఎంత చెప్తాడు? అకౌంట్ అంటే ఏం చెప్తాడు? 21. There lies the difference between accounting profit and financial profit. This is meant for decision making. That is what point? So ఫైనాన్షియల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఏముందంటే, అసలు నీ చేతిలో ఎంత ఉన్నాయో మాట్లాడు. 41 రూపీస్ ఉన్నాయి, 41 రూపీస్ ఉన్నాయి. ఎందుకు తేడా వస్తుంది అకౌంటింగ్ ప్రాఫిట్ కి? మన డిప్రిసియేషన్ కంటే ఇంకా బెటర్ వర్డ్ నాన్ క్యాష్ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్. ఎందుకు అక్కడ డిప్రిసియేషన్ తీసేస్తున్నాం? నో డిప్రిసియేషన్ ఎందుకు తీసేస్తున్నామో చెప్తాను. అకౌంట్స్ ప్రకారం ఎంత? 21. బట్ వీఆర్ లెఫ్ట్ విత్ హౌ మచ్ అమౌంట్? 41. ఈ 20 రూపీస్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటాయి? బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ ఇన్ ద నేమ్ ఆఫ్ అసెట్స్. బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ లో ఉంటాయి. అకౌంట్స్ ఏముంటుందంటే, నీ చేతిలో 41 ఉన్నా నువ్వు ఖర్చు పెట్టాల్సింది 21. మరి 20 రూపాయలు ఏం చేయమంటావు? ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయి. ఎందుకు? ఈ మెషిన్ మళ్ళీ పోతే కొనాలి కదా నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్. 5 years తర్వాత ఈ మెషిన్ పోతుంది, అప్పుడు కొనాలి కదా. డబ్బులు ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తాయి? సో యూ డోంట్ స్పెండ్ 41, యూ స్పెండ్ ఓన్లీ 21. 20 రూపీస్ ఏం చేయమంటావు? ఎక్కడైనా ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయి, వేరే ఎక్కడైనా ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయి. సార్ మాకు బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్లో 21 ఎక్కడ కనబడట్లేదు సార్. అందుకనే రిజర్వ్ ఫర్ బ్యాడ్ అండ్ డౌట్ఫుల్ డెట్ మెథడ్. మీకు క్లియర్గా బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్లో కనబడదు. మీరు మామూలు డిప్రిసియేషన్ వేస్తే, ఆర్బిడి మెథడ్ వేస్తే 21 రూపీస్ సచ్చినట్టు మీకు కనిపిస్తుంది అక్కడ. 20 రూపీస్ డిప్రిసియేషన్ మీకు సచ్చినట్టు కనిపిస్తుంది. ఆ అమౌంట్ తీసుకెళ్ళి ఏం చేయాలి? అసెట్లో ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయి. ఏం చేయాలి? ఆ డబ్బులు ఈ మెషిన్ని రీప్లేస్ చేయాల్సి వచ్చినప్పుడు ఆ డబ్బులు పెట్టి మీరు కొనుక్కోండి. ఇది అకౌంట్స్కి ఫైనాన్షియల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్కి తేడా. ఫైనాన్షియల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఏముంటుంది? అప్పుడు సంగతి అప్పుడు చూసుకుందాం. ఇప్పుడు నా చేతిలో 41 రూపీస్ ఉన్నాయి, అవి ఏం చేయాలో చెప్పు. దేర్ లైస్ ద ఫండమెంటల్ డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ అకౌంటింగ్ అండ్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్. ఇది ప్రాబ్లమ్ని అనలైజ్ చేసే పద్ధతి. కొంచెం బ్రెయిన్ హీట్ ఎక్కినట్టుంది కదా. యూ డిడ్ నాట్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ దిస్. నౌ సో ఇఫ్ at all you want to interact with us directly, this is a mail ID of me. I take care of the academics. It's mssprakash2012@gmail.com, and administration issues will be taken care by Mohan sir, and this is the mail ID of Mohan sir. He will respond, and these are the contact details of all our branches. So this is our online presence, and please do install our Android app. It is Masterminds online classes. If you belong to iOS platform, then install an app called Class Plus, and you need to enter the organization code as MZGun. With all your support, our app is reaching 25,000 of downloads. And recently we have launched a new academic program called MEC Pro, aiming the students of who are interested to do MBA or BBA or CLAT in future. And very soon we are going to start that academic program in all our branches also. So please do subscribe for our YouTube channel for latest updates. Yeah. So let me know what you learned from this video in the comment section. That's all for today.